In today's video, we're going to talk about how to save your first $1,000. I uploaded a video yesterday where I talked about what saving my first $1,000 actually did for me. It took me from broke to not being broke. Saving my first $1,000 unlocked so much for me. It unlocked my potential. It unlocked and gave me a boost of self-esteem. It unlocked so many different areas in my life to where I was able to successfully manage my money and get to a place where I am now and where I am today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you exactly what I did. These are the tips and tricks that I use and still use today to be successful with the money. And let me tell you, some of the things aren't super mind-blowing, but the one thing that you have to have is discipline, okay? And a mindset shift. So grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, grab your phone, go to your notes section, because I am on a mission. I need my 1,000 women who are going to save their first $1,000. And so I'm going to talk to you about saving money, and saving money, okay? Because we are on a mission. Let's get into it. If this is your first time here, my name is Jasmine, aka Budget Treasures, and here on my channel I talk about all things finance with the emphasis on budgeting, saving money, and paying off debt. If this is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and definitely share this video with someone else who may definitely need to save some money as well. And if you're a returning bestie, hey girl, hey, you have probably heard some of these tips before, so these may be reminders for you. And it also may just be an aha light bulb moment as well. But let's get into it. So I have a list here of about 11 different things that I did and still do in order to save money. I'm going to give you an honorable mention. The very first thing that you need to do is change your mind about your ability to save money. In the video that I uploaded yesterday, I talked about the very first thing that I needed to do was change my mindset. If you do not believe, and I tell you guys this over and over again, but I never know who needs to hear it again or who's hearing it for the first time. If you do not believe that you can save $1,000, you will not save $1,000. You won't save it on accident, and you will not save it on purpose. So you have to believe in yourself. Even if you don't believe in yourself a little bit and say, I'm gonna try it so that when I do it, then it'll make me a believer within myself. But you have to at least open up your mind to the idea that you can save money, and you can save it a little bit at a time so that you can get to the goal that you have of $1,000. Nothing else matters on this list if you do not change your mind and start to believe in yourself. I'm going to give you one more honorable mention because I believe that everyone should know this. But once again, this may be a reminder to some, and this may be something that you're hearing for the very first time if you've never heard it before. The bottom line is you either have to decrease your expenses or increase your income, or do both together. In order for it to work, in order for you to save the money, you have to do one of the two things. Sometimes we don't make enough money to be able to save because our budget is spent on the necessities, not even the things that aren't necessities. Once we pay our rent and pay our utilities and buy food, the paycheck is gone. So then what do we need to do? If you cannot cut anything out of your budget, you have to make more money. That means you have to go get another job where they're paying more, or you're getting a second job, you're getting a side hustle, you are working overtime, you're doing something to generate additional income so that you can expand your bandwidth and be able to save that money. That's black and white. There's no way around it. Either you decrease your expenses to create that gap of money that you can save, or you increase your income to create that gap to give you the money that you can save. There's no way around it. Okay, so those are the two honorable mentions. It is important that you are intentional with a budget. If you don't know how to budget, I have tons of videos here. There are tons of videos on YouTube that will teach you how to budget, how to create a zero-based budget, how to create a
30, 60, 90. Lord, I've been looking for a job for so long. It's about 30, 60, 90.
But a 80-20 rule. They have 20-20, what is it, 20-20-60 rule. They have so many different types of budgets that you can find that will work for your life. I really like the zero-based budget. That's giving every dollar a job, every dollar a name. But you have to be intentional and put savings in your actual budget so that you know how much money you need to allocate to the budget. You're not just going into this thing blindly or saying, oh, I'm going to save $25 or I'm going to save $30, and you just don't have a plan, and you actually have the ability to save more, but you don't because you don't have a budget. You don't have a plan for your money. You're not intentional. So please, please, please create a budget and put your savings in there. This is something that I think that we miss sometimes, but checking for discounts. The majority of people qualify for discounts, and this can be discounts on your utility bills, discounts on things that you have to purchase, just discounts on different things. If you are in the military, they have military discounts. They have student discounts for different things. If you have a cell phone with a certain company, there are discounts for that. They have employee discounts. And I think so often we forget that there are discounts that we can take advantage of. If you're with AAA, there's a lot of discounts there. So really do a deep dive in what you're a part of, like your company, or what companies the company that you work for, and then also maybe the companies that you are a part of with like AAA or memberships and things like that, and see like what. I will tell you, one of the things that I learned when I used to work at a very well-known phone company, when customers would call in and they'd state that they wanted to disconnect their line because we were one of the most expensive phone carriers, I would ask them, hey, where do you work? And a lot of the times, if I got like first responders, if they were like a nurse or a police officer, firefighter or whatnot, I was really excited because I knew that because they were a first responder, that I was going to be able to save them money on their bill. And that is how I saved a lot of my customers, because they weren't aware that because of the specific job that they have, that they were able to save money on their bill. And I was able to save them. I had great KPI numbers. But the point is, sometimes what you even do as a profession, you can get discounts on your bills. You can go to your utility bills, and there are certain discounts that you can get because of your income. For example, for me right now, I do not have much of an income, so I qualify for certain programs with my utility bills so that I'm not paying as much as I would pay if I didn't qualify. So just look at your budget, look at everything you pay, call everybody and say, hey, is there anything that I can do to take advantage of a discount? So this one may not be as popular because it can be a little bit uncomfortable. But one of the things that I did in order to save money so that I can buy my house was I stayed with my family member. And I stayed with him for 6 months, and I was able to save like crazy. I stayed in his small bedroom, or in his game room, like his fun room. And I decided that I wanted to save my money, and I couldn't have the overhead of like rent and all of, the things that come with that. And I decided to go live with family. It was uncomfortable, but it wasn't super uncomfortable because I love my family and we like each other. But I mean, uncomfortable in a way of like, I wasn't in my own space and I was, in a room and instead of, having my whole house to live in. If you have the ability to live with family or friends, if it's not a hostile situation, if it's not something that's not going to work, or it's just not a good idea, don't do it, of course. But if that is an option for you, take advantage of it. Sometimes we have to sacrifice a little bit. We have to sacrifice the present in order to enjoy the future, and the future is so much better. This is definitely for people who are responsible. I'm going to say it again. If you are responsible, use cashback rewards. I love cashback rewards. I never knew how great it can be. I save hundreds of dollars by using cashback rewards. But I'm very intentional with my credit. I'm very intentional. I have a plan. I know how I work it. I put it in my budget. I'm only spending money on my credit card that I was already going to spend in cash. And then I just pay my credit card off. But I have gained so much money that I'm able to save. We're now in the thousands. So taking advantage of that, if you have discipline and you can do it, this is only for those people. Because I've done it. I tried it the first time and it did not work. I got myself back into debt. But that was because I didn't understand. I didn't have a plan or a process. And I just got myself back into debt. So now that I understand it and I know how to work it, I'm good. But this is something that I have done. So I am sharing on this list things that I have actually done and worked for me. So take that one with caution, okay? So I really like this one. Save and spend. Sometimes when we're saving money, we have to decrease our expenses, which means that we have to cut some things out of the budget and, in order to save that additional money, and we have to make these sacrifices. But what I've done is I've saved a certain amount of money. I've gotten to that goal, and then I will reward myself with something. That way, I'm continually being motivated and I'm not in a space where I'm just always sacrificing and never buying anything for myself or rewarding myself or having fun. Because I will tell you, I have once been the person who I was constantly in and not budgeting, because I'm always budgeting regardless, but I was constantly in a space where I was sacrificing and never doing anything for myself. And I got tired and I got burned out. And then I just started mismanaging my money all over again because I did not have balance. So save and spend is all about balance. If you're saying to yourself, I really want to save $1,000, you give yourself a goal of $500. Once you hit $500, buy yourself something nice. Reward yourself for being halfway there. And then you continue to save the additional money. So maybe you're like, I'm going to take myself out to a nice dinner. And maybe it's $100, $150 or whatnot. Or I'm going to buy myself something. Or I'm going to do something that really makes me happy and rewarding, because I'm excited because I am on the way to really meeting my goal at 100%. So I call it save and spend, okay? It's a balance. And I can just tell you from experience that always being in a space where you're cutting, it can eat away at your mental health. It can just make you sad. And I'm sorry, I'm not a part of the crew where you just cut everything out and all you're doing is just paying bills and that's it. I'm not a part of that crew anymore. And let me tell you, I have obtained more now with balance than I did when I was just always cutting.
So that's why I'm not gonna cut my nails out. Just gotta be a little petty.
Anyway, back to the list. Delete those shopping apps. Let me tell you, when I first started to save my money, I had to delete the temptation. I just had to get it out of there. So delete those shopping apps. If you are subscribed to the email list, unsubscribe. It's only for a certain amount of time, because you don't want to be tempted to go ahead and buy, when they're having a sale and you're like, oh my God, they're having a sale, I need to get something. You want to take all temptation away. So unsubscribe from the email list, delete the apps, unsubscribe from social media. Don't watch people doing their little hauls on YouTube, etc. Just really kind of remove yourself for a period of time until you save your $1,000. Having an accountability partner is important. Okay, it is very important. If you do not have one, I will be your accountability partner. Just go ahead and subscribe to the channel and I will get you together. Okay, we will get each other together. Okay, you guys are really my accountability partner. As much as you think that you are not, you are, which is the reason why I finally canceled my cable. Can I get a round of applause? Can I get a round of applause? Because you guys were coming for my neck. Okay, you was like, listen, if you don't cut that cable. And I finally did it. And let me tell you, we're going to get there. But I saved some money by finally cutting the cable. But you need an accountability partner to hold you accountable. So if you do not have one personally in your life, join a community of people who will be honest with you and hold you accountable. So it works. Tracking your expenses is more effective than you think it is. If you are a person who does not track your expenses, it's because you do not want to be real and honest with yourself. That is the quickest way for you to stop spending money, because it is literally an honest moment. I think tracking your expenses by paper and pen is more effective than just going into your bank account and looking at your account. For some people, it may work. But I have found it best to actually take a paper and a pen and write down everything that you've spent for the same day. So once you get to the next day, it's a real moment with yourself. And if you even hold yourself accountable, you're gonna, whip yourself back into shape really quick. So tracking your expenses is effective. I've done it and it has helped me tremendously. Using coupons. I will tell you, coupons is not dead. I don't care if it's paper coupons, digital coupons. Use those coupons, honey, because it will definitely save you money. And why pay full price when you can get something on sale? That's when it comes to food, shopping, just different things. If you can find a better deal for the actual same product, be intentional, wait until the deals come around, and that's when you make your purchases. And the last thing, cut that cable, girl. Cut that cable. Yes. Listen, I don't know if it's cable. Just cut whatever it is that needs to be cut that will save you a good amount of money. I finally cut my cable and I am saving around I think it's like $50 a month. It's either $50 or $60 a month. But it took me so long. It took me so many months. I was going to cut it a while ago and I kept forgetting to call. And you guys held me accountable. And I finally called and I finally cut the cable. And $50 or $60, that's a significant amount of money monthly that I'm saving on just entertainment. I can read a book. I can look at my computer. There are so many other ways that you can access entertainment that I don't need to pay $50, $60, $70 just to access it. So even if I wanted to get cable again, it's for a period of time right now that I'm sacrificing it in order to sustain in my finances. So cut, I don't know if it's cable for your life or whatever else it may be, but just cut it because it will save you a lot of money. And the very last thing I'll talk about is cell phone service. Now, your cell phone service may be cheap, I don't know, but if you have the ability, shop around for your cell phone services, because you can get a cheaper deal. A. B, even if you go the route of prepaid, it's much cheaper and you can still talk on the phone. You can still talk on the phone. Your minutes not gonna go out. We don't do that anymore. So why pay an expensive cell phone bill when you can just go and get a prepaid phone, or just get with a carrier who's cheaper, especially if the carrier works in your home and you're able to have cell service. I know a lot of people who actually go the cheaper route. Instead of paying an arm and a leg for a cell phone, they go the cheaper route and they're able to save a lot of money. Now, that one, I do not pay a cell phone bill at all. So that is something that I did. I actually like do some work to where I don't have to pay for a cell phone bill, but it's something that I was able to take advantage of. So I wanted to mention it because you never see it on my budget because I don't have a bill. And I said I was going to talk about things that I've actually done that work for me. So that is one of the things. Okay. So I hope that this list has helped. If you guys can do like we always do, share the best practices down in the comments. If there's anything that you do to save money, we want to hear it. Sharing is caring. But thank you guys so much for being here. I love you all. We'll see you in the next video. Go be great, besties. Peace out.
You're special and she reckless. Remember, you're my bestest friend. Yeah, she my bestie. My love for you is endless. Nobody else can end it. And when I get the money back, then baby girl, you can spend it. And everything is